I am Dana Malcolm. Rashaed Esson joins me tonight. We have your evening edition of Top Stories for Tuesday, April 2nd, 2024. Coming up, it is the news that matters most.
There is simply nowhere else in the Turks and Caicos Islands that you can find such a wholesome variety of your favorite fresh foods. There is simply nowhere else in the Turks and Caicos Islands that you can find such outstanding service. And there is simply nowhere else in the TCI to answer your every food craving in a chic, comfortable, centrally located store. That's a place you can trust. Number one is Graceway IGA. Fresh, service, trust for over 20 years.
Another tax increase has been added onto locals in the Turks and Caicos Islands. The final round of NIB increases are now officially in effect as of April 1st, 2024. The 3-year staggered increases began in 2022. This year's hike is the final and what residents will pay going forward. They are as follows. For private sector workers who will pay 12%, their employers will cover 6.5% of that, and out-of-pocket employees will have to pay 5.5%. For public sector workers, a similar breakdown. They will pay 11.15%. 6.75% of that will come from TCIG and 5.75% out of pocket. Self-employed persons will pay 10%. Those increases were instituted to make sure that the National Insurance Board could continue its necessary work well into the future. A floating brawl involving locals, celebrities, and other tourists has captured the attention of Turks and Caicos residents as people decry the raucous behavior that took place on the Easter weekend. Videos of 3 boats moored next to each other show a bunch of people kicking, fighting, and even throwing each other overboard in the tiny space between the boats, presenting both drowning and crush risk. Included in the maelstrom is rapper and actress Cherisier, as a friend tries to extricate her from the fighting. Not on site, however, is the Royal Turks and Caicos Islands Police Force. Residents tell us those party boats often end in fights and disagreements, and there have been calls to shut them down. Magnetic Media has queried police on why there's no patrol in the area, considering the nature of these excursions. No response from police or update on the fight has been issued. Magnetic Media is your news leader. Still to come is Rashaed Esson. He has news from around the Caribbean.
This is an important advisory from Digicel Turks and Caicos. All Digicel subscribers whose SIM cards were issued prior to July 2021, kindly visit your nearest Digicel store and have your SIM card swapped at no cost to you. There's also dedicated SIM swap teams that will be at different locations throughout the various islands on specific days. Please look out for the communication via SMS text message. This is a Telecom Commission regulatory mandate and enhances network reliability and speed. Please swap your SIM cards as soon as possible to avoid mobile service interruption.
It's now time for your regional top stories. I'm Rashaed Esson. Armed gangs continue to wage attacks around Port-au-Prince, Haiti on Monday, April 1, this time near the National Palace. Fortunately, they didn't gain access to the palace but surrounded it. Reports say at least 4 police officers were injured and being treated at a local hospital, and according to the Miami Herald, civilians are seen on video running as gunshots are fired. Meanwhile, Haitian gang leader Cherisier, in an interview with Sky News, expressed considering a ceasefire as well as having talks if his people are given a voice. However, he says foreign forces set to travel to Haiti will be treated as invaders, leading to more violence. Following 2 days of competition among young Caribbean athletes at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium in Grenada, Jamaica's team for another year dominated the CARIFTA Games with 83 medals for the various track and field events, winning 44 gold, 23 silver, and 16 bronze. The Bahamas followed with 36 medals, 10 gold, 13 silver, and 13 bronze, then Trinidad and Tobago with 27, 4 gold, 11 silver, and 12 bronze, above Guyana with 10 medals, 4 gold, 3 silver, and 3 bronze. For the Aquatics Championships, the Bahamas took the lead with 45 medals. Trinidad and Tobago, Barbados, and Cayman Islands followed the Bahamas, completing the top 4. Magnetic Media is your news leader.
What are informal settlements? The short and simple answer is that an informal settlement is any area comprising illegally built structures, but the reality is far more complex than that. For more information, visit our website or follow our Facebook and Instagram social media pages. www.isutci.com.
The United States Transportation Security Administration, or TSA, revealed that this Easter weekend was one of its busiest, beginning with a record Thursday. It shared it had screened about 2.79 million individuals on March 28th. That's its 10th busiest day of all time. The weekend was also projected to be busy, with spring break in full swing, it said. They also issued guidance to passengers about arriving on time for flights with sufficient leeway to make it through security. Over the weekend at the Providenciales International Airport, the TCIAA, Turks and Caicos Islands Airports Authority, did not issue any extra warnings of extended wait times. CARIFTA swim is over, and the Aquatics Championships have left the Turks and Caicos with no medals this year, but the country's youngsters did outdo themselves. Personal bests have been dropped left and right, with the country securing a spot in the finals of the 50-meter and the 100-meter butterfly thanks to Jaden Davis. He placed 5th in the 50-meter. Congratulations to all athletes. That is it for this edition of the news. On behalf of myself, Dana Malcolm, and Rashaed Esson, thank you so much for joining us. Top Stories in 5 is a Magnetic Media production.